1, 2, 1, 2. Rocky Body mic check.
Testing.
Testes.
Oh.
So gross. Welcome, guys. Happy Monday. What is up? Hello, hello, hello. We're back. We're back. We were here last week. We were just a bit earlier. Now we're back on time. So, as you're here, obviously, you know the drill, guys. Drop I'm here in the comments with your name so we can say hello. Rosie's back too. Rosie who? She said this last week, then disappeared. This is Rosie 6.0, I think.
It's like a Terminator film. It just keeps coming back.
Fast and Furious.
Yeah. Rosie Fast and Furious
Yeah.
11.
Oh, Rosie, we love you. Guys, I can see there's more. Hey, Julie, I briefly read your message. I will get back to you. Guys, as you're here, I can see there's more than just 2 people here. So do drop hello, hashtag I'm here, name, whatever in the comments so we can say hi, what is up, and we can, pick you out as our favorite peeps. Alrighty, so today we're going to be talking about a skill that you guys need to develop to achieve anything in life. Anything. Hey, Teresa. So there's loads of people. Look at all these people online. You stalkers on my little Facebook here and the rest in the group. Hi, Kirsty. Hey, Hannah. Hey, Rachel. Everyone's turning up. Hey, welcome to the party. So this skill, I'm not going to say what it is yet. So Cam, don't tell him. Because he always ruins it. He always ruins it.
I just get straight to the point.
You do, but I want to build some anticipation. This is the difference between men and women. Women like to get warmed up. They like to get in the mood. They like to get all excited. Men just like to get in and get out, right? So we're doing it the girl way. We're going to ease into it. We're going to get all excited and, finish strong. We're going to finish. Okay? So we're going to dive straight in. Where are these analogies coming from today? I have no idea. Apologies if you listen on loudspeaker or something like that. But you've listened to us for long enough. You should probably know there's going to be some innuendos in there. So today we are going to be talking about a skill that you need to build to achieve anything in life. This is a skill that people should consistently work on. It's a skill that I consistently work on. Skill that Cam consistently works on. It's a skill that a lot of our clients work on, and the successful ones work on it pretty much every single day. Every single day. People like Teresa, people like Rachel, all these clients that are here, Julie, these are the kind of clients, Fast and Furious 11 and Hannah. These clients are the clients that get serious results because they practice and they use this one skill. I mean, they've got plenty of skills. Our clients are very skilled, but this one particular personal trait, can anybody guess what it is? We're going to have loads of guesses here that will be accurate, but I don't know whether they're going to pick the correct one, as in the one that we're going to talk about today. So, guys, let me know your guesses. Pop them in the comments. This is an interactive live episode. What? Who said that? Who said the first guess is like, yep, I've got it. Someone's been like stalking our thing. Persistence, Teresa says. Katie as well. Yeah, she's all right as well. Just kidding. Resilience is the answer, guys. Mindfulness is also correct, and persistence. I think resilience and persistence are like kind of, they go hand in hand. All of them go hand in hand, in fact. And we will be talking about mindfulness in this as well. So, well done, Fast and Furious, on that guess. Well done, Rosie. She's got it. This is all about resilience, the skill that everybody needs to achieve anything. So we're going to be talking about this. We're going to be talking about different scenarios that we've done in life, times that we've had to use it, times where we haven't wanted to, or we haven't used it, and what's happened. So we'll be trying to, give some scenarios, and you guys are welcome to pop in the comments anything that you relate to, anything you feel like, yes, I've done this, or yeah, I struggle with this. let me see in the comments, actually. Put number 1 in the comments if you think you struggle with resilience. What does this mean? This means it's too hard. I can't give 100%, so I give up. There's a barbecue. Today ends in the A-D-A-Y, so I can't do today. My periods come, so you give up. Stress, wherever it's going to be. My work, I'm busy. Time, it's hard. I don't want to. I'll start on Monday. Like, if you've said any of those kind of things, there should be more than one in here, because I know many of you. I know many of you guys, but at least one person, whoever that is, there we go. Some people are brave enough to admit it. And admitting it is the first step. Just like many, many things, admitting this is a problem is the first step. There we go. So that's better, guys. Honesty is the best policy. There's no judgment here. If none of you said one, we'd skip this episode because none of you need help with it. Kyra, welcome. We are talking about resilience and whether you've ever felt like, I struggle with resilience. I don't know if Kyra does, actually, because I remember when we were cutting her calories for the photo shoot, she was like, I'm scared this can be hard. She did not do it, though. She was just like, I'm scared this can be hard. she did it anyway. So resilience we're talking about generally, though, when it comes to anything, but we're going to be mostly talking about it as weight. So resilience is the act of continuing to do something even when you get smashed in the face and it's like shit is hitting the fan and blowing all over you, that kind of thing. Like that is, and you keep going, that is resilience talking. Okay, so resilience is the showing up. So you got to show up for yourself. So we're going to talk about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me just check this. My notes here. 5 types of things that you need to do in order to become more resilient. Okay. So the first one, develop a growth mindset. You want to talk about it? Obstacles. Let's talk about obstacles. If an obstacle comes in someone's way.
The obstacle is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way. So yeah, I think if people go into challenges seeing opportunities to work on different traits or skills, anything like that is the better way to be going into it. So the biggest thing is when people find or have obstacles that will come up, they'll just turn around and they just go the other way. So it's just learning like how can we use these to like better ourselves and still get to our goal. Obviously there's different ways you can, I don't know, you could probably go through some obstacles, you can go around, you can go under, you can go over, but the difference is between everyone is the mindset of the person that comes up to this obstacle. So as soon as something's stuck in someone's way, it's usually their mindset that will have the biggest, what you say, like
determining factor,
or predictor, like predicting factor that's gonna, like, if people will carry on with their journey. So that's what we need. So different obstacles obviously can bring up different things. So if something's in the way, it's like a chance to work on your creativity, because now you don't have half as much time. You can't just grab and go. You're gonna have to meal prep ahead. You're going to have to find out different ways to get your steps in rather than just always having 2 hours every day to always on your lunch go for a really long walk. Now you don't have a lunch break or whatever it is. So you've got to become creative. Obviously, there's like self-discipline. So now you've got to say no because you've got 3 kids' birthday parties on the weekends. So you just got to say no because it's not worth it. It's not really high emotional value for you.
Are you talking about going to the party or eating the food at the party?
I was going to say it's not your birthday. So I mean, it's not your kid's birthday, so it shouldn't really matter. So it's just finding ways.
Yeah. And I think, like, talking of Kyra, actually, like obstacle course racing, this is something I used to put in my CV, guys. If any of you looking for a job, like, this is why I put my CV. It's got to be true on it, obviously. I used to say, like, in the little, like, personal box thing on the top, the intro, I wrote something like, I do obstacle course racing as a hobby. And this, I don't know the word for word, but it says something along the lines of, this is how I approach life through obstacles. I either go, smash through them, over them, or under them, but I get around them and find ways to overcome them. So it's about finding those ways, like Kyra will in obstacle course racing. You come up against something, you can't be like, nope, I'm not doing this. Turn back around and leave. I mean, you could do the optional burpees, but no one wants to do that, okay? So everyone needs to find a way. And I think this is one thing I like about obstacle course racing as well, is like people help each other. There's a community. They cheer each other on. You know, there's all of this extra stuff. But there's always an obstacle in people's way. And so this is the same with life. People often say like, I'll just wait until like this happens. I'll wait until that happens. But really, there's never a perfect time to start. There's never like the perfect, people say, oh, wait until the economy picks up. No, money is always a problem, okay? I don't remember anyone ever saying to me, oh yeah, I've got loads of money, I'll get personal training. No one's ever said that, okay? People always say, like when I was personal training person, people will always find a problem. And so you need to be able to find solutions instead of finding problems. So like Cam was saying, become creative and find a way around it. So developing a growth mindset, we slightly went off tangent there, but developing a growth mindset, instead of just giving up when those challenges come, it's like, look how far I've come and I'm proud of myself for doing this. So say you get to, let's use a client as an example. Let's think off the top of our head. No longer burpees as a penalty. Now it's a run, a weighted run. Oh, I think I'd rather burpees, to be honest. I can't believe that. Let me think. Who has recently come up against something in our clients who's had a setback? Gina, perfect example. She's not here, but she often watches on the replay. So Gina, we talk about you again. So Gina loves to walk and she loves to exercise. She freaking, you know, everyone's like, oh, I'm going to try and get 10,000 steps. She gets 30,000 steps by 9 o'clock in the morning, right? She does though, doesn't she? Like, she's ridiculous. But she recently had an injury, which means that she can't do long walks. She hasn't been able to walk much at all, actually, over the last 4 weeks. About a month or so now, isn't it?
Coming up to that.
Yeah, it's about a month. And she's got a photo shoot in December, right? It's very easy for her to be like, this is hard. I can't exercise. And most people will do this. I can't exercise. There's no point in me eating well. Put a number 1 in the comments if you've said that. I can't exercise, so I'm going to just eat shit. I've done it. Cam's like reaching over. He's like, 1. So this is something that people do struggle with. But instead of seeing this as a setback, because, you know, it is a bit of a setback, she can't train as much as she would like to. She's not progressing as much as she would like to. But instead, she's really developed her mindset to be more resilient. And now she's like, do you know what? She's still losing weight though, and she lost 2 pounds this week, something like that, wasn't it? Around 2 pounds this week with no exercise. Okay. So she's managing to go for like little walks now. It takes a lot in her for discipline to not go too far and not to, keep pushing exercise. But she is seeing this as a challenge of, okay, how much can I do? Like, what can I do better this time? So she's making a meal prep. She's making sure her nutrition is on track and on point. She's doing all these things and she's learning from all of these stressful, all the things that she can't do, basically. She's now learning from it. So we need to look at setbacks. Yeah, well done, Gina. Exactly. Gina, we love you. We need to see setbacks as what can we learn from this and how can we grow from this, not this is a reason to give up, because a lot of people will shut that door and be like, I'm not doing this anymore. No, there's no point. So you got to carry on and see what you can learn. You need to fail, not that Gina's failing, but generally, if you guys come up against a challenge, fail forward, okay? If you are not able to do, I don't know, maybe you went for an interview, okay? And Holly, again, another client who, what are you laughing at? Well, it's just showing, isn't it, as a growth mindset. She was in the unfortunate position that she was being made redundant. And so she was looking for jobs and she was interviewing, and she wasn't successful. She was like 1 point away. She was always second. But every time she would ask for feedback, every time then she would practice more for the next and practice. And she would look at how far she's come and the effort that she's putting in. So it's not about getting the job. It's not about doing the steps. It's what can I learn from this and how far have I come? So instead of seeing like everything as fixed, as a fixed mindset, we're like, yes, no, win, lose. That's not the way to live life, guys, because we're always losing. So instead, we got to be like, okay, what can I learn from this? And if you learn something from every challenge and every situation and every setback, you will never fail. You will never lose because you're always growing. Okay, so that's the first thing we need to do. Develop that growth mindset. Look at the skills that you are learning instead of the outcomes. So maybe if you didn't lose weight this week, but you learned all about how to meal prep or something like that, maybe you've eaten out, and instead of going overboard, you've enjoyed but not overindulged. And so you've used that growth there. Okay, so anything else you want to say on growth mindset?
No, I thought we were going to do a whole one of just that.
I was going to say I probably could. I love it, So next thing, build strong social connections. Put a number 2 in the comments if you've got a friend or family member who sabages you. I'll put number 2 in there as well. No. I don't sabotage you. I support you all the time. So this could sometimes be deliberate, like putting extra food on your plate, eating food in front of you, things like that. Or it could be, I don't want to use the word malicious, but like sneaky, like, oh, you can have one more. One more's not going to hurt. Or things like, you're too skinny or you're obsessed, like those kinds of words. They're very, very negative, right? And you basically want to tell people to like, none of your business kind of thing. Yep. So look, all these 2s, everyone's like, yeah, I've got a saboteur in my life. 2. So we need to surround ourselves with people who are on a journey too, right? So sometimes this is going to be, because sometimes it's a lonely, lonely place to be. I remember when I was losing weight back in the day, I would walk to work, which is about a mile or something like that. And I would time myself and I try and get quicker. And one day I went in and I said to my manager, oh my God, I got in 1.5 minutes quicker or whatever it was, or maybe 20 seconds, whatever it was, quicker than yesterday or quicker than my personal best. And she was like, so? And so I was trying to develop this growth mindset where I was trying to improve all the time and get better and get better. But I didn't have, in work at least, I didn't have that support that I would have necessarily liked. So sometimes it can be a very lonely place to try and lose weight, which is why, like, you guys will, obviously, because you're in our group, right? If you're in our group or in our coaching group. So we have a group live, a Zoom actually, on Sunday and Wednesday, but Sunday yesterday. And there's always people in there cheering each other on. You can actually see 2 people say, well done, Gina. Gina's not even here, but people are still cheering her on, and they are clients. So having that, those people around you that are like, yes, come on, you've got it. Or if someone's struggling, our group is always like, well, you can do this. Have you tried this? So giving options. And one of our clients put the other day that she wrote this long post, I'm not going to name it, that she wrote that she was a perfectionist and she was really struggling because she was finding like if she can't hit it perfect, then she'll just kind of recluse and go back and back and back and feel overwhelmed and not want to do anything. And she has so much support in the comments, didn't she? So it's very difficult to feel alone actually in our group if you are engaging. But it's really important to have those people around you. And I think it's partly on them, of course, but we also have to take ownership of being surrounded by people who don't want what's best for us, okay? So, all right, if it's your mum, if it's your sister, your partner, wherever, it is their choice whether to support you or not, but it is your responsibility to tell them your goal, to tell them why it's important, and to tell them what they can do to support you. I've said to someone close to me in my life, it's not Cam, but I have said, like, look, this is my boundary. If you don't want to be, if you want to be part of my life, you cannot cross it. I'm telling you, this is the boundary. Don't cross it. If you're going to be negative, I don't want to hear it, and I'll just leave. And sometimes you've got to be stern like that, because other people either don't know that they're giving negative vibes and bringing you down or giving you self-doubt, or they do know, and they do it on purpose, and you're saying, I'm not standing for this shit. And it can be really hard to say to loved ones, can't it? Because you don't want to offend them. You obviously respect their opinion because you love them. But at the end of the day, you've got to go with what's best for you, and you have to develop those relationships with people that are also going through similar struggles. So for us, we've been in like business groups, business like masterminds and business mentorships and stuff, because obviously we work alone, together alone. But, you know, we haven't got people in our lives directly who have built businesses, that travel, all of these kinds of things. So we can feel alone. So we've pushed ourselves into these situations where we're surrounded by other people who are going through the same thing. And I think that's a really important thing to have, to be able to be resilient as well, to know I'm not the only person going through this. I'm not doing this alone. I've got other people backing me. And sometimes when you can't back yourself, but you see all these other people backing you, that is enough to build your resilience. Okay, so that is number 2. Have a social community that is going to help you get there. Okay, Cam, down to you. You can talk about this one.
So this one I think always sounds a bit woo-woo to most people. And they're
so
like,
as well.
it will make no difference.
Yeah.
But again, I think that, so basically it is practicing self-care. So you could reword it and say, do you ever rejuvenate or do you ever recharge? So that is like the most important thing, because every day, like willpower, is going to fleet by the end of the day. So if your workouts at the end of the day, you have to have way more willpower or motivation to get it done, and you probably won't have it. So it's just much more likely to be missed. And again, it's just like lifestyle dependent. So that's the biggest thing. Like, I think most people get used to living at like 70, 80%. And they're like, yeah, I've got loads of energy.
Yeah,
I sleep quite well. Yeah, I eat quite well. And then you actually like dive into it really detailed, and they're still waking up in the night. They fall asleep like instantly, when that's not always the best thing.
They slump in the afternoon. They have that like 2 p.m. drop.
And because it's been like that for like 10 years, they're just like, that's my normal. But then suddenly they start getting rid of like processed foods, like not as much. They're not like drinking loads more alcohol. They've got loads more self-care. So they've got a lot less stress, a lot less cortisol. So they're probably hanging on to less body fat in the stomach. And then they've actually got loads more energy. So you actually start operating at like closer to your real 100%.
Yeah.
Like most people won't be at 100%.
No.
Because their diet's poor. They don't sleep well. They don't exercise regularly. It's very like intermittent.
Yeah.
And I just think recharging is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
So if you can recharge and if you can rejuvenate, you'll have better resilience, because you're not always running on flat.
Yeah.
Like, to have resilience is obviously good, but it's to be able to, I don't know, to do resilience or be resilient, you have to have energy and you have to have motivation and willpower left. You can't just have it flat all the time, because then it just makes resilience a lot harder.
Yeah. And I think like when it comes to even like being irritable, like you've got to have, personally, this is something that I struggle with. If I'm in a fine mood, I'm like hyper emotionally intelligent and emotionally, what's the word? Like contagious. Like everyone's energy really affects me. So I might be fine, like la-di-da, and Cam might be in a bad mood, and all of a sudden, boom, my energy slumps. I get miserable as well. I kind of match. I mirror like other people's emotional, feelings and whatever. Let me know, guys, if I'm the only person that does that. I hope not. I hope I'm fine. But yeah, I do kind of like other people's energy really bothers me or affects me. If people are really, really happy, I'll also get that sort of vibe. But to make sure, if I don't practice self-care, I will find myself going down more quickly. Whereas if my self-care is like an adequate amount, I can be more resilient, and I can be like, do you know what? Screw you then. If you want to be miserable, you're going to be miserable. but I'm going to live my life and keep on however I am. Yeah, there we go. Cool. I'm not the only one. Thank you. Whew. Phew. So if you've got more resilience, if you have more self-care, then you've got that little bit of like space that people can like bump into and it won't affect you. Like, can't touch this. Nah, 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 nah. Like that. So thank you guys. I'm glad I'm not alone there. But yeah, so if you practice self-care, and self-care can look like meditation and yoga, yes, but it can also look like eating good food, like Cam mentioned, exercising, getting good sleep. And one of the most important things, one of the most important phrases that I've learned over the last, 2 months, something like this, is self-care doesn't always mean having a bath. Sometimes self-care means committing to your goal even when you don't want to. So I want you guys to write that in the comments. Self-care can mean committing to your goal even when you don't want to. Okay, so when you're tired, or when you want that pizza instead, or you don't want to go to the gym or whatever, self-care is putting that goal before the small dopamine hit that you need at the minute. Self-care isn't always about having the bath, meditation, chilling. Self-care is sometimes about putting your goal first. Okay, do you like it?
Yeah,
I love it. Yeah, self-care can mean
a lot of people use it as an excuse. So
yeah.
I can't remember what the other person says. Like, self-care can mean saying no to yourself.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Like saying no to an extra biscuit or the extra bath because you honestly don't have time.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people will use it and grab onto it quite quickly.
Yeah.
And just be like, it's self-care. I'll skip the workout today. I think I've got a headache.
Yeah. And sometimes you need that workout to get rid of that headache or to make yourself feel better, or you need that early night for self-care to make yourself feel better. And saying, because lots of people will say, especially mums, I'm going to brush you all with the same, sweep you all with the same brush here. Sometimes mums will say, when the kids go to bed, that is me time. I want to be on my phone. I want to catch up with, what's going on in the world, what's going on Facebook, what's going on Instagram, what's going on TikTok. And nothing interesting. Nothing that's going to benefit you is on your phone, like, unless you will listen to this, of course, when the kids are asleep. But generally, doom scrolling through is not something that's going to help you. And in fact, it's going to make you sleep worse. It's going to stress you out. It's going to raise your cortisol. If you're like me, it'll just make you miserable because everyone's moaning on it. So instead of being like, this is me time, it's self-care time, I'm going to go on my phone. No, how about we read, or we journal, or we do have a bath, or we go for a walk. Obviously, if there's someone else in the house looking after the kids, or we do something for us instead of what everyone else is doing, which is just being doom scrolling and spending time, right? Okay, so self-care can mean putting your goal first. Self-care, committing to your goal even when you don't want to. Self-care can mean committing to your goal even when you don't want to. Self-care, for me, learning to say no to some things. Yeah, exactly. Self-care can mean committed to your goals even when you don't want to. Exactly, guys. So I'm happy you guys are writing it in there. This is really going to sink in. So we've spoken about development of growth mindset, building strong social connections, and practicing self-care. The next one we've kind of touched on, but I do want to go into a little bit deeper. Developing problem-solving skills. Oh my gosh. Here we go. This is the problem. I'm going to stay resilient. I'm going to try it again. Developing problem-solving skills. There we go. I got there. I didn't give up. I carried on going. So developing problem-solving skills means that you don't give up and you find a new solution. And can use the good word you're on, creative. You got to be creative sometimes to get around obstacles. So if I don't have time to prep my dinner every night, what would be a solution?
Go out and buy like high protein pre-packaged food, like pre-cooked chicken.
There you go. I meant like meal prep on Sunday, but Cam's come up with something else. So yeah, definitely. Like there's going to be tons of ways to do things. So when it comes to developing problem solving skills, every time you look at challenges that you've had in the past, You can look at what you did to overcome them, or what you did that made things worse. And this is developing the growth mindset to now be like, okay, well, this happened this time. Next time I'll do X. And we did have a client yesterday who said that they spoke to someone in work and basically pissed them off, and they didn't like the way they come across. So next time they're going to do X, Y, and Z. So that's a really good way of like, using the growth mindset to solve a future problem, because it's going to come up again, right? Go on.
I think the quickest way to develop this, of like how to develop, like to get good at problem solving skills, is put yourself in a position where you're probably going to get a problem, or it's going to be hard, because too many people don't move out of their comfort zone.
Yeah.
So they never really have to solve a problem, which in essence just sounds like an easy life. But people that progress quicker and develop the skill quicker and develop resilience quicker are the ones that are slightly edging themselves out of the comfort zone. We're not saying do something so far out like it's going to be embarrassing and you're never ever going to like do that thing again, but just edging yourself into it and just learning how to do it. Like, you don't know how nothing works in the gym, so you don't need to go straight into like a full-on gym
Snatch
workout trying to do everything. You could just walk into the gym, figure out how to turn on a treadmill and do that for 5 minutes. You could sit there, you could walk there and just watch other people do workouts. You can watch exercise videos where you're on the treadmill looking at people doing that. So you're finding ways on how to teach yourself to exercise if you have no other like means to do so. But you'd never build that skill if you never force yourself into the gym. So a lot of people like don't want to do stuff because they're just too anxious of like what could happen. They live their life in the could rather than just like adapting like on the spot. So I think that's the biggest thing, is like be prepared to push yourself slightly out to find more problems, and then you can learn to solve them.
Yeah. And in that, by thinking about what could happen, or, like by planning ahead, those kinds of things, and also not being concerned about these problems. You could be like, oh, I could go to the gym, but everyone will look at me. Okay.
Yeah, Tesco's and people will look at you.
That's true. Yeah. But by going, by thinking about this, you're going to learn to take control and you're going to feel empowered. So when you do go, you expect people to look at you, and actually what happens is no one looks at you. Then you're a little bit disappointed. You're like, ugh, in my head, I've hyped this up. Everyone should be looking at me. Why aren't they? But you'll go in and feel more in control. And I think the control thing is really important for us. If you're anything like me, guys, you were like, we want to make sure that we're doing everything right and all that kind of stuff. We don't want to look stupid. Someone says, this was so me. And then someone else says, they don't care. Exactly. So hey, Jan. Hey, Sue has joined us. So making sure that you are developing these problem solving skills. And Cam, I want you to talk about the activity that people can do, like the opposite. So if I want to be able to lose weight, what would I do versus what wouldn't I do?
I can never remember like the proper name for this. Or like the method or the theory, but when people say I don't know what to do, I don't know how to lose weight, I don't know how to start, whatever it is, the brain is I don't know, built to find mistakes, or built to find something that's hard, built to find negatives. That's the main thing. Just because it keeps the body safer. Like, our body wants homeostasis. We want to be safe. We don't want to get into like fight or flight. So if we think of like everything negative and just make sure that doesn't happen, we'll probably be in a safer state and never be in danger. So how we can use that to our benefit is like, if you had someone say, right, write 10 things you need to do to lose weight, and then they sit them there, and then you give it 10 minutes later, right now, write 10 things that you should never do or not do to lose weight. And we know the person that does the second one will write the list a lot quicker. So write down a list of like 5 to 10 things. What shouldn't I do if I want to lose weight? If I want to lose 5 pounds in the next month to 2 months, what shouldn't I do?
Or use the gym. So if I don't want to look stupid at the gym, what should I do? Versus like, what should I avoid if I want to look stupid at the gym, So if you don't want to look stupid at the gym, you would look at tutorials, watch other people, these kinds of things. Instead of being like, I want to look stupid at the gym, I would hang upside down from the lat pull down or something like that. So like use this small, because not losing weight is quite a big broad
It's
subject,
just
isn't it?
an easy way to explain it.
Yeah.
So if you write that list of what you don't need to do, so
Yeah.
I shouldn't eat processed food all day. I shouldn't eat sugar for every meal. I'd never go for a walk. That'd be
Never
a
go to
perfect
the
way to
gym.
lose weight. I'd never move. I'd just stay in my bed all day. So then you just look at that and be like, what's the opposite? Well, I can have like moderate sugar. I can have more whole foods and have a little amount of processed foods. I can get my steps in when I can, rather than being a sloth. I can get out of bed at an earlier time, so I've got more time to do my tasks, rather than if I never got out of bed, I'd never lose weight.
Yeah.
So just think of like the opposites.
Yeah, sometimes you can look at the kind of problems or things that are stopping you from losing weight and look at the opposite of that as well. So like Cam said, if you're skipping the gym after work because you're too tired, okay, so what is the opposite of that? What's a creative way to actually work out without going to the gym after work? So you could go on the weekend, you could go in the evening, you could work out throughout the day instead. You could do things with friends, you could go to classes, all of these things, right? So find creative ways. There's lots of different tactics you can do, but there we go. There's an example. And you can also use our group, guys. Like put your problem in the group, have that community support, and get through there. So develop those problem-solving skills and break them down into small, manageable chunks. So instead of being like, I need to lose 10 stone, that is hard. Okay, so instead, how can I lose 5 pounds? That is way easier to digest and create a solution to do that, rather than like 10 stone. That's a big chunk. Okay, so the last point here we've got is cultivating flexibility and adaptability. That's some big words, isn't there? But life is full of uncertainties. Like we can never be in control of absolutely everything that happens. We know that, yeah, we want to be able to think, what if this, and we need to be in control of that, and we need to make sure we're prepared for this, and that doesn't work and whatever. And a lot of people will be like, right, I'm on it. My meals are prepped. I've got my workouts planned. The kids are being looked after by, the partner or the mum or wherever. Work is, I'm finishing work at 5. That's it. And then what happens? You forget your lunch. You leave it on the table. Work rolls over. Like the last meeting rolls over, so you're late. So we need to be able to have this flexibility and adaptability. So if you forgot your lunch and you knew you're going to have chicken salad, you could then be like, okay, well, I was going to have chicken salad, go buy, like you said, like chicken and then like a salad bag. That's an easy way to do it. Or maybe you'd be like, okay, tonight I'm supposed to be having rice and whatever, like a carb sauce and steak or something like that, or burger and sweet potato fries maybe. But instead, now I'm at work, I'm going to have a carb sauce, I'm going to have rice and chicken curry or something for lunch. And then later I'll have my chicken salad for dinner. Okay, so it's about having that flexibility and knowing that you're not going to be perfect, guys. Like you're never going to be perfect. You're never going to hit 100%. So stop making those expectations up there, okay? That's expectations are like one of the things that set people back, because they're like, I'm going to be on it, I'm going to be 100%. You don't have to be 100%. You just need to be 1%. You need to be one step ahead. You don't have to be perfect, okay? So practice like adjusting your plans, perspectives, strategies, and as circumstances change and whatever, then you've got those skills in the bank, which I think is why we get people to use MyFitnessPal and Calorie Count and Macro Track, at least for the first little bit that they're with us.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, that was it. Okay, that was it. Okay, Cam. So yeah, we got to make sure that we're adaptable. Okay, so you can't just give up every time things get hard. So the 5 things that you need to do to become more resilient, because a lot of you guys, ironically, you're like, oh yeah, I'm resilient, and then give up at the first sign of like problems, right? So develop a growth mindset, build strong connections, practice self-care, develop problem-solving skills, and cultivate flexibility and adaptability, okay? So they are the 5 points. That's all. That's all you've got to do. Again, you don't have to do all of these, okay? Choose one. The easiest one will be join the Facebook group, okay? And have the support there and start using it. That is free. that is everybody can do it, that is full of like 2,200 or whatever members of other women who want to lose weight or gain muscle, wherever it's going to be. But everyone's going through a struggle. So use the group, because people are like, I can't pay for this. It's a fucking free group, guys. Go in and use it. And even if you're a client, go in and use it. Go in and support each other as well. I think that's like a real big thing, because a lot of people will go in and use something without giving back. And I think that can, put people in difficult situation. And the guilt comes in, and they feel like the psychology of a transactional relationship happens there. We're not going into that, but there we go, guys. Any questions, any golden nuggets, anything you think, oh yeah, that makes sense, oh yeah, that's me, or anything in this episode that has really clicked with you, let us know in the comments, and we'll drink this. What have you learned today, Cam?
I think the flexibility and adaptability is probably the biggest thing. I think we can always have a plan, but it's got to be, I think,
what's that saying?
Your plan. Everyone's got a plan until you get punched in the face.
Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face. Pop it in the comments, guys. Everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face. I want to see all the comments saying that. Pop it in there. And what's that mean?
I think that was Mike Tyson.
I think so as well. What does it mean?
People just fall to pot as soon as it doesn't go to plan. They just give up. All or nothing, but we want to be all or something. Something will always add up and give you results, but nothing will never build up. It will probably send you backwards.
Yeah. Nobody is perfect until they get punched in the face. Oh. I read two things then. I was like, oh, okay, that's a bit weird. I need to make use of the social group on the coaching group and this group. Yeah, definitely. Nobody's perfect, and keep that positive mindset. Yeah. And sometimes positive mindset is can be a bit toxic. Can't just stay positive. It's not always about staying positive. It's about finding the positives in things. And, even if something terrible happens, there's got to be something that you can learn from it. Okay. So there's always something. What's that? You either fail or you learn. Something like that, isn't it? That's the saying. There's lots of people getting punched in the face. Just a reminder needed after feeling down the last few weeks of holidays. Who's that? Let us know. Everyone's planning to get punched in the face. I punch myself. Okay. I punch myself regularly, and I need to readjust my definition of self-care. I'm going to assume this is not a physical punch in the face. Who is that as well? Guys, pop your names in there so we can, especially if you're a client, you should be putting your name there so we can help you out. And if you're not a client, utilize us as a social connection. Is there anything else I want to say now? Hannah's getting punched in the face, I think. That's the one it is. Self-care, that's it. And I think it's very easy to be like, oh, I need to look after myself a bit more. But looking after yourself means putting your goals first, okay? And that's the thing. If you notice, people will be like, oh, I need self-care. I need to eat this chocolate because I was feeling low. My period is coming, so I ate the chocolate or the pizza, or I didn't go to the gym or whatever. Well, that makes them feel worse the next day. So you've actually made yourself worse. What's that thing I said to our clients last night? It was a good one. Oh my gosh, it's completely gone. It's gone. If any of you are my clients and we're in the group chat last night in the Zoom, let me know what I said, which was a real golden nugget. Biggest thing for me, Fast and Furious. From this live today is what we said earlier. Sometimes self-care is committing to your goals even when you don't want to. Exactly. Oh, I know what the quote was. It was something along the lines of, you don't have to like the choice you make. You just need to be proud that you made it. Okay, so this could mean, he said lots of things to ourselves, I know. So it could mean I don't want to go to the gym because I can't bother, because I'm tired or whatever. And you don't have to like the decision that you're going to go, but you should be proud of yourself after. Whereas if you decide to stay at home, you're like, no, I'm just going to binge on pizza tonight. You're probably not going to be proud of that decision the next day. Okay, so yes, there is balance. Like someone like Gina, and we're telling her, do not go and train. You need to chill, you need to relax, you need to recover. For her, self-care is not exercising. But for someone else who is not injured and is absolutely fine, self-care for them is exercising because it's going to get them to their goal. Okay. So decide on your goal, commit to them, and know that that is where you want to be. And every time that you say no to yourself, as in like, no, I'm not committed to my goal, I'm not going to do whatever it takes to get there, wherever that thing is, you are sabotaging yourself then. Okay. Just like we mentioned about saboteurs earlier, you don't want to be the sabotage for yourself. If you
It's
can't
just when
believe,
you're constantly saying yes to other people, you're saying no to your own goals.
yeah,
And a lot of people don't care about your goals.
mm-mm.
So you have to put yourself first.
Yeah.
Saying no to other people is saying yes to your own goal.
Mm-hmm.
There's lots of quotes, isn't there?
Yeah, we love it. Sarah, I was feeling down about not tracking and working out while on holiday, but I need to stop feeling guilty and to get back on it. Yeah.
I think that sounds like a perfect balance. You're eating what you want, but you're still moving your body. Like that's what a holiday's for. You just get to work out in the sun, hopefully.
No, she says not tracking and working out.
Oh, not working out.
I guess so, yeah.
Oh, so I thought you said work out, but not tracking.
No. Well, it could be actually. But yeah, just there's no guilt is a bit of a pointless emotion, I think, sometimes, isn't it? Sometimes, not all the time. We do need guilt. But like when it comes to guilt, feeling guilt about things that we've enjoyed, I think that is that's where the problem comes in. Like when you feel guilty about enjoying a holiday, you're not on holiday all the time. It's not like it's a constant thing, but you enjoyed yourself. Now back to work, back to normality. It's like going back to work, like your job. You can't be like, do you know what? I feel really guilty. I wasn't in work last week. I was on holiday and I didn't check my emails. I feel really guilty. I mean, we do. We are that person. It's not good, okay? But it's very rare that people will be like, oh, I feel really guilty. I didn't go to work last week when I was on holiday. Silly, isn't it? So there you go. Okay, this live has saved me from myself tonight. My friend is coming over tonight and she messaged asking if I want any snacks. Tempted to have replied, but I'm already a snack. Yes, you are. Yes, you are, Fast and Furious Rosie. Yes, you are. But what could Rosie get for snacks tonight? Skinny popcorn.
Just get a mini bag, not a big bag.
Yeah, like sometimes I have Maltesers, don't I? And there's like 2 bags of Maltesers here.
Yeah, I mean, if you
have
want,
the small bag.
just get the small bags. We don't need sharing bags.
Lentil chips. There you go. And salsa actually is like very low in calories, isn't it? We figured that out the other day.
Mm-hmm.
It's the chips that cause the issues. But you can also make your own chips, like what are they called? Chips, potato chips, not like chips. So like lentil chips. You can make your own other kind of chips. Rice cakes. You can use like rice cakes and dip. Yeah, why not? Hummus, carrot sticks, celery. And I think like the other thing, this is like a little bit, it's not really resilience, but a reminder is like there you go, protein bar, yogurt, nuts and seeds. There you go. Jan says, I feel more positive today. I am determined to achieve my goal. No more Jaffa cakes for me. Some Jaffa cakes, just less.
I'm the same with custard creams. I just can't have them in the house.
Yeah, you can't.
Everyone thinks I don't know, presume that I'd have loads of control over food. I just know what I have control over and what I don't. So I just don't have custard creams ever in the house. And when I do, I usually eat a full big double barrel pack that you get from like Tesco's, because I'm not going to buy a little one. I'm going to have to buy a big one.
They don't come in little ones, do they?
They do now. Like,
do they?
In like Londis, I think.
Oh, there you go.
But yeah, I'll have about 2,000 calories. So I can't control myself.
Salt and vinegar lentil chips. Also, drink loads of water first. All really, really good plans. There we go. I've forgotten what I was going to say. Never mind. Oh, yeah, I remember. If you're struggling with like, but, okay, you need to think about yourself when you've achieved your goal, okay? What does future Rosie do? What does future Jan do? What does future whoever else, Hannah do? Like in 5 years time, 1 year time, wherever you want to like think about, right? If they walked through this door right now, I said this to Alicia the other day, she's fucking, this girl is cool, right? This girl, this woman who just walked in, she's future you. She has everything that you wanted. She's got the money that you want. She's got the family that you want or not. You know, she's got the job that you want. She's got the body that you want, the health, the energy. She's got all of this stuff that you want. She's walked through this door and she is saying to you, Rosie, what snacks do you think I would eat tonight? And you look at her and you think, it's definitely not a fucking sharing bag of giant buttons, is it? Right? She doesn't choose that. And she didn't choose that to get to where she is. Maybe she chooses it sometimes, but 90% of the time she's choosing lower calorie options. Maybe she's choosing one bag, like a small bag of giant buttons. Or maybe she's just choosing to have skinny popcorn or whatever, right? Whatever it takes. So you need to think about that person walking in and you being like, oh yeah, that's exactly the kind of decision she would make. So I'm going to make it because I want to be like her. So you need to look at the people who have been where you want to be or are where you want to be and what decisions they would make. Okay. If you can't imagine your future self, think about, you know, like your idol or whatever you want to call them, someone with the body that you want or the energy that you want. Right. What would they do right now? What decision would they make? And then make that one. Okay. Because choosing the other one is not going to get you there. Okay. So every single decision we make gets us to where we want to go. And the more that you practice this, the more resilient you're going to be at saying no to the things that you should say no to. Okay.
It's like you don't become that person by, like Rosie 12.0 won't become Rosie 12.0 by automatically just turning up to a photo shoot and just getting it done. She becomes that person through the journey. And that's what people forget. If I weigh 160 pounds, I will be a new person. Like, it makes no difference. Like, you have to go through that journey to become that person, but people are quite easy to skip the journey or find the quickest, easiest way to the journey with the least amount of resistance, and they won't be that person they want to be. So I think that's like the biggest mistake. If I'm just 140 pounds, I'll be amazing. So, but people forget, choose the path of probably most-ish resistance, and you'll most likely become that person you want to be, who sits at 140 and is really happy.
Yeah, because where you are now is the outcome of all the decisions that you've made over the last few years, or your life really. But you know, when we're talking about weight, probably the last few years. So a lot of people through COVID and after COVID or wherever gained weight or lost weight and then gained it back or wherever. So their decisions to go out drinking every weekend, to have the takeaways, to not invest in the gym, to not go for walks, to eat the crap more than the good stuff, like a lot more than the good stuff. Those choices equal where you are now. If you are exactly where you want to be right now, keep making the choices you've made over the last few years. If you're not where you want to be, you need to change the decisions that you've been making. Okay, because we are the product of our decisions. So we need to make the decisions that are going to get us to where we want to be. And where you want to be is probably not where you are. So we need to change something, okay? In order to change, you need to change. There you go. It's my little nugget to the end there.
I'd wrap it up there and be like, mic drop. Drop that mic. No, don't break it.
Okay. There you go, guys. Hope this has helped. Let us know. Wednesday, we're going to be talking about something to do with exercise.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to be talking. So let us know actually in the group what you want around exercise, like best exercises for legs or something like that. That's what we might do. So let us know. Only you can make the changes. I bet if there was a monetary prize, you would do it. I don't even think money motivates some people like that. Honestly, like, we've got experience in this. We've got experience where we're like, you could win money. And they're like, I can't be bothered. I don't want to win the money that much. So yeah, unless there's a law of money, people typically don't care.
Unless it's like life-changing money.
Yeah, £1 million. Glad to be back. There we go. Guys, use the group. Utilize each other. If you need anything, let us know. That's us. Peace out. Have a good night.
Peace.